G'day there ladies and gents of the internet, I am the Braveheart Aussie and welcome to a journey in world building. And welcome to the third episode of our world building setting deep dive series into the asteroid cluster based world of the Commonwealth of Falls Edge. In this final episode we're going to explore the primary terrors of the system, which range from the physical or environmental factors to social issues. Of course, the main terror of Falls Edge is that of the elliptical orbit of the Trojan asteroid clusters of Hapi and Achiroe, along with the gas giant of Achiroe. This brings the planetary system in close proximity to the system's star. The closest point of this orbit is referred to as the Perigee, and sees the asteroids and the planet enter an orbital position far closer to their star than that of Mercury in Old Sol. Even accounting for the small size and relative stability of the red dwarf star, this still subjects the planet and asteroid clusters to severe doses of stellar radiation. Latent temperatures also increase substantially, and the nodes of pseudo-orbital stability within the clusters, as well as in orbit of Achiroe area, are subject to volatility and flux. This hostile period of the Perigee is approximately 1 month out of every 6-month orbit of the planets and asteroids. However, the position of the clusters 60 degrees leading and following the planet's elliptical orbit means that none of the objects are subject to the perigee at any one point in time, and instead all pass through that point of ultimate proximity over the course of an 8-week period. During this point, all spaceborne operations within the clusters or within orbit of the planet are effectively shut down and enter a hiatus, bar automated functions. In most cases, automated functions include the use of autonomous AG fields and thrusters to maintain the position of everything ranging from small spaceborne shipyards to even large asteroid dwarf shepherds. This reflects the impact of the sudden dive of the asteroid clusters into the star's gravity well. The proximity of the clusters to the star also means that all inbound and outbound stellar traffic are effectively halted. This means that all supplies required to maintain the population during this period need to be secured before the month-long perigee. While safety standards for larger stations, particularly those of the capital dwarf worlds of Aegyptus and Danaus, are rigorous, and the perigee results in no tangible impact on the livability of those worlds. Smaller asteroid settlements and orbital stations around Achiroe can experience an increase in surface and internal temperatures, as heat management systems struggle to vent and radiate away the accumulated heat. The impact can range from balmy tropical-like temperatures on some stations to rare instances of environmental control failures. Heat stress-related injury during the perigee are not uncommon and are the primary cause of hospitalization during this time. Deaths are also common among the very old and very young during this orbital path. The imposed hiatus on spaceborne activities, on which much of the workforce of Falls Edge depends on, results in something of an annual holiday period. While some more unscrupulous ship captains will move between the clusters during the period to remain active or relocate in orbit of Copachia, it is common for free flaggers to time their shore leave with that of the perigee and enjoy much of the lightly regulated drinking, gambling, prostitution and other pleasures that Falls Edge have to offer. A key source of entertainment during the perigee is an astrojet race known as the Achiroe Loop. Established some 6 decades earlier, it is one of now of a handful of premier sublight microcraft races in the diaspora and is now covered and transmitted via transport jump node to more than 100 worlds. The race is highly dangerous, with the stellar flux and temperatures adding to the dangers posed by the armed races themselves. Racers set off from the cluster of Achiroe and make their way to that of Achiroe as it approaches its perigee, doing a full orbit of the planet, or loop, before departing and heading towards the leading asteroid cluster of Hapi. Outside of the perigee itself, the other major terror is the impact of formalised and corporatized organised crime within Falls Edge. As flagged last week, interstellar crime syndicates are encouraged to corporatize to afford themselves greater legitimacy in the diaspora-wide economy and remain only lightly regulated by the Commonwealth itself. So long as local businesses and residents remain generally uncoerced, then Commonwealth forces, namely the paramilitary style police, generally tolerate most activities. Even prohibitions on the import of illicit substances is very restricted, with the focus mainly being on highly hallucinogenic and mind-controlling drugs such as that of the sand bloom. Protection, racketeering, and financial and economic crimes, as well as direct violence against citizens, are however heavily prosecuted. Secondary loan sharking market is permitted within the local financial sector, though interest rates are capped and regulated, and syndicates can secure formal, albeit streamlined legal sanctions for the payment of defaults. Nevertheless, the availability of drugs, alcohol, gambling, and prostitution, and their links to organised crime mean that it is possible for individuals to find themselves addicted, in debt, and destitute on one of the many stations of the fall's edge. While not desirable, such an outcome is viewed generally as the consequences of the individual's personal decision-making failures, reflecting a strong focus of the cultural fall's edge on individual liberty and responsibility. The exception to this is that of universal free public healthcare, which is available to all registered residents of the Commonwealth. However, it is argued that by removing the risk to individuals from unforeseen and potentially devastating medical and health-related financial and life challenges, this actually reinforces the individualist-based approach to personal liberties, not dissimilar to Northern European socio-economic models in the 21st century of Old Earth. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we're going to leave this episode and our deep dive of the Commonwealth of Fall's Edge today. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one as much as I have. Thank you to everybody who has voted in our most recent YouTube poll for our next setting. After this, we will be turning our attention next week to the new setting, and one that has received 80% of the votes is the techno-agricultural world and the breadbasket of the Tyson Sector Compact, that of Harlos. So that is it. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and may the journey continue.